One of the biggest issues I see amateur golfers struggle with every single day on the lesson tee is losing posture as they come into impact. Now in today's video, I'm going to run through the one secret that is crucial to maintaining great posture through impact. So I'm not going to make you wait. What is the secret to helping you maintain good body angles through impact? Well, it's side bend. Firstly, what is side bend? Well, we have two types of side bend. We have left bend and right bend, and we use these side bends to help us maintain good body angles. So for example, if golf, it's not, but if golf was played at chest height, I would stand pretty much straight up and down. That means that the golf swing would just be a turn and a turn. However, as we know, golf is not played at this level. It is played on the floor. So as a result, I have to tilt forwards in my golf swing. So in order to maintain these good tilts, I have to move into, for me as a right-handed golfer, left bend in the backswing and right bend in the downswing. If I do it from the down the line view, you can see I have to move into left bend and then I have to move into right bends. Now, if you do not move into these side bends, so left bend in the backswing, right bend in the downswing, you are going to lose your body angles. Now, we're talking about the downswing today, so if you want to maintain better body angles through impact, you have to get more right bend, more side bend in the downswing. So what will this side bend look like as you come into impact? Well, if I drag the ball over and I go to the top of my backswing, I am going to feel like from here, as I shift and turn, my right shoulder is going to start to drop down to the ground. Now, it is imperative that as you do this, you continue to turn. Why? Because if I didn't continue to turn, what we would see is as I come into impact, I would just be stuck way under the plane. So you can see with no rotation, club gets stuck under. If I go into right bend whilst I turn, you can see now that I'm getting into that position to now where the club wants to work back in front of me, I can get the path going well, and ultimately from there, that rotation will pull your low point forwards. But what it feels like to me is that this right shoulder is going lower to the ground. Now, one thing that a lot of players say, and it's very, very true, is as they do this, they will feel like they get lower. Pay attention to the top of my head. As I go from the top of the backswing down into impact and I add in this good right bend, you will see that my head has actually lowered. Well, again, if I'm going into this right bend and quite a lot of right bend, I am going to drop down ever so slightly as I get into that good impact position. But here's the thing, if I didn't do that and I came out of my right bend, you can see how actually I'm going further away from the golf ball. So as a result, if I then delivered shaft lean, I would go straight over the top of the ball because shaft lean brings the club head closer to my body. So as a result, what does every golfer do when they don't have enough right bend? They throw the club down. Well, now I'm not going to get any shaft lean. So actually, having that right shoulder drop down to the ground as my body shifts and turns is going to allow me to get the club forwards. In fact, it forces me to get the club forwards because if I did throw it, I would hit the ground fat, I would hit some terrible, terrible golf shots. So by actually dropping that right shoulder down, it forces me to have that shaft lean. So now let's run through some drills that are going to help you learn this motion as fast as possible, but stay tuned to the last drill because trust me, that is a golden one and it is used by a lot of tour pros out there. So what I want you to do is set up to the golf ball. Then from there, just stand straight up and down, bring the club, pop it on your shoulders. Then from there, I want you to turn so your right shoulder is level with the ball, let your trail foot come off the ground, and then I just want you to drop your right shoulder down to the ground like so. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want you to learn what it feels like to just get into a right side bend position as if it's impact. So if I bring the ball to the front on view, again, we're just breaking this down. So I'm sitting up to the golf ball. I'm then going to stand up, put the club on my shoulders, turn to face the target. You can see my trail heels come off the ground. Then from there, I'm just going to side bend down to feel what it feels like to get into that good impact position. Place my hands down and boom, that's a good little representation of what that right bend feels like. So again, we have to start slow. If you've never been in this position, you need to put yourself in this position. Without someone there to physically force you into it, this is the best way of doing it. Let me show it to you one more time. Set up to the golf ball normally, stand up, club on shoulders. Turn to your lead side, then from there, drop that right shoulder down, bring the club down, and that is just going to get you into that position to what it feels like to have that right shoulder down to the ground. So the second drill we're going to go through to help you get into this great impact position is called the limbo drill. So I'm going to set up to the golf ball normally as if I'm about to hit a golf shot. Then from there, staying in my golf posture, you're going to take the club with your lead hand and place it so the toe is just outside the golf ball but pointing back at you. So you can see in this position, my lead arm is fully stretched and the club is vertical or vertical-ish in that position. Now the key to this drill is we need to maintain our good body angle so we can underhand throw, we can limbo underneath our lead arm and hit our lead shoulder. So if I do it incorrectly first, what does that look like? Well, if I lose my body angles, I come out of it, you can see I can't really get under my lead arm, and ultimately from there I'm not going to get into a good position. So I need to feel what it feels like to turn, get that trail shoulder going underneath, so then I can hit the top of my lead shoulder right there. And you can see the body angles that I'm in are very much going to represent a very side-bended position with a lot of right bend. That's going to allow you to feel what it feels like to maintain that good body angle. Now, if I do it from the front on view, again, start from the beginning, set up to the golf ball, grab the club, spin it so the toe points towards you, place it just outside the golf ball. Now you can see I'm trying to keep this as still as possible. My right hand is now the club. Swing, under it, and boom. Look at where my right shoulder is pointing. It is pointing down towards the golf ball. That is a great feeling for us. I can really feel the pressure in this lead toe right here and in the heel of my lead foot. That's a great feeling for us. Pay attention to where the pressure's in my feet. That's a great indication my hips are open, my right shoulder's dropped down, good amount of right bend. Pressure has moved dynamically. The first two drills were there to help us understand the correct feeling of the position we're trying to achieve, but this third drill is going to be massive in allowing you to actually hit shots and learn this sensation. So what we're going to do is set up to the golf ball normally, but then from there, before you take your grip, I want you to toe the club in quite excessively. Now here's the thing, the more you want to exaggerate this right bend position, the hands being forwards, the more you're going to toe the club in. So for me right here, I'm going to toe the club in quite excessively. If I do it from this front on view, you can see I'm in my address position. Before I grip the club, I'm going to toe the club face in quite a bit, then I'm going to grip it. So if I bring my hands up, you can see this club face is pointing down to the ground an excessive amount. Now from there, the caveat to this drill is you have to start this golf ball straight. The reason why you have to start it straight is when you've hooded the face, now in order to get that club face square, you've got to drop the right shoulder down and you've got to deliver some shaft lean, and you can see that will square out the club face. Why? Because shaft lean is technically an opener to the club face. So let me do this drill for you right here. We've got the visual in front of us. We're trying to start the ball straight, or if anything, maybe exaggerate it, feel like it starts to the right of target. Set up to the golf ball, toe it in. The more you toe it in, the more excessive it's going to feel. Then from there, you've got to start this golf ball straight. Let me give it a go for you right here. So as you can see, I've started that one very straight, tiny bit to the right, but it felt like I really dropped that right shoulder down. I'll play it back on the camera, have a look at it, and you will see in that position, I was excessively down in this right bend position. So to be honest, if you are looking to solely improve this position, do this drill. This is your absolute money drill that is going to massively, massively, massively help you. If you do this drill correctly, you are going to instantaneously feel what it feels like to get that right shoulder down. Now, if you do this drill and the ball starts to the left, that's an indication you didn't get enough shaft lean, and therefore you probably didn't get enough side bend. So you let your ball flight be your coach in this drill. It'll tell you everything you need to know. If you have any questions about today, please ask away. If you're interested in some one-to-one coaching, then have a look at the Skillist app. I offer a lot of one-to-one coaching on there. The link is down below, so click on that and shoot me a message if you are interested. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.